Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, this lesson is the continuation of the previous lessons in which we are discussing the functions of various components of CPU, storage, and I/O devices as suggested in von Neumann architecture. Boys, in the previous lessons, we have discussed the functions of the various components of CPU and storage. In this lesson, we are discussing the I/O devices and the various components which are associated with the I/O devices, means the buses and their functions. First of all, the input output. Boys, you know that we, the user, can send or receive data or instruction through I/O devices. We need any input output devices for communication or for interaction with the computer system. And inside the computer system, on the CPU or the processor, transfer the data and the signals to various components inside it through input output controllers or through input output devices. So this I/O requires a link to be established for communication with computer and its components. Obviously, boys, when you want to connect two devices, there should be a link between these two devices. I/O devices allow interaction with computer and its components. This is very obvious that what is the basic function of the I/O devices. These allow the interaction with the computer system and its components by the user and the CPU itself. So now the question is how this I/O interface is established, or how the I/O take place. To transfer the data within its different components, a computer or CPU uses bus. So what is bus, boys? Bus connects different devices with the CPU. And what is the composition of the bus? And what is the architecture of the bus? What are the different types of the buses? I am discussing it with you in the next slide. Now boys, the buses or the computer buses. You can call it the simple bus or the computer bus. Bus is basically a collection of wires which is used to connect one component to another. So what the bus is? Bus is a series of conductor or pathways. So you know that the conductor allow the signals or the current to pass through it, and pathway is also used to transfer the data or the instructions from one component to another. So bus is a set of parallel electrical conducting lines, usually of copper. Basically, boys, the bus is a strip-like cable in which each line is one path, one electrical path, and usually that one electrical path is of copper, and it is basically a wire. So bus is an electrical path through which data is transferred from one component to another component within the CPU and computer system. So basically when we want to transfer the data or the instruction from one component to another, we require some connection between these two components. Then bus establish that connection, and one computer bus contains many electrical paths or many electrical wires, usually made up of copper, and data and instructions are transferred with the help of those electrical paths and those pathways from one component to another. Another concept related to bus is the bus width. So what is the size of the bus? Amount of data which a bus carry is called the bus width. And there is a connection between the bus width and the amount of data a bus can transmit or transfer, and that is greater the width of the bus, more data it can transfer. What it means, more pathways, more electrical paths, more lines in the bus allow more data to be transferred from one component to another. Is it clear, boys? So, but bus basically connect two components or more than two components with each other for transfer of data and instruction. The next is the various type of buses and their functions. So dear students, there are three types of computer buses. One is data bus, other is address bus, and the third one is control bus. Now see the particular function of the data bus. Data bus carries the data which is required by the instruction to be processed by the CPU. Data bus transfer data from one device to another. It is bidirectional. Bidirectional means it can carry the data to the components, it can go to the memory and take the data back to the central processor. So that is why it is bidirectional. It can transfer the data, it can read the data. So both read and write operations are being performed by the use of the data bus. Data bus can carry the data from one component to another. Data bus can take the data from any component for the other component. From the memory to the hard disk, for example, from hard disk to the main memory, from the main memory to the printer, from the hard disk to the printer. The next is the address bus. So boys, the name of the buses are very logical. Address bus. Address bus carries the memory addresses. Memory addresses of the instructions, memory addresses of the data, where the instruction is stored in the memory, from where the instruction is to be fetched for processing by the CPU. Address bus locates the memory address of instruction to be executed. It is unidirectional. Data bus is bidirectional, but the address bus is unidirectional. The third type of bus is control bus. Control bus carries the control signals and instructions. What are the control signals? Whenever you want to send the data or instruction to any component inside the computer or to any device attached with the computer system, or even your mobile phone or even your tablet PC, you first transfer the control to that component, check the status of that component. If it is ready, then you transfer the data or the instructions. So control bus carries the control signal and instructions. Control bus transfer control from one instruction to another. When we are executing a program, the instructions are executed one by one, one after the other, in a sequence. Transfer control signal to different devices. It is the function of the control bus. Control bus can be unidirectional or bidirectional. Unidirectional or bidirectional means control bus can only transfer the control to any component inside the CPU, inside the computer system, or it can transfer the control to the component and get the control back and transfer it to another component in the computer system. So it can only carry the control signal, or it can take some signal or some data back and then transfer it to another component. So that is why it can be unidirectional or bidirectional. Is it clear, boys? The type of the buses: data bus, address bus, and control bus, and their particular function. And what is the nature of that bus? That is, it is bidirectional or it is unidirectional. That's all, boys, with this session. You have the home task for this session. The first, as usual, you have to watch this video lesson, mean lesson number 15, what I have discussed with you. And the second task for you is read topic 3.01 from the chapter number 3 from your course book. Dear students, if you have any queries, you can post your queries on my WhatsApp group mentioned below. Thank you very much, boys. Allah Hafiz.